Nyla, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Nayla. Hello. I can. First name is pronounced how? What do you got for me? Hold on, just a second. 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 I gotta grab something. Just a second. Nala says I came to bring the fire. That's okay. No, no, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. Challenges are good. Challenges are. Let me sit down and get back to it. So go ahead. What you got for me?
Light challenge about
Go ahead.
something that you said. I agree with everything you say.
You
I
don't have
called
to.
in and thanked you time. No, but I do. I called in and actually thanked you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one little thing
Go ahead.
I notice when one brings up colorism, it's completely thrown out. And so I feel like I had that issue with my skin color. Um, it just seems sometimes that that's completely ignored. That's not a problem at all. And
Well, it's not that it's not a problem at all.
okay,
See, what the problem I have with colorism is it's not multivariate. You colorists seem to make a unidimensional argument as if color, skin color is one of many factors. But but most colorists make it the primary factor. And then everything from that runs out of the original factor that's colorism. That's my problem.
I do understand what you're saying. I think my more of challenge is instead of maybe just pushing it to the side, maybe strategies for darker skinned women, because I'm a darker skinned woman and I was able to, get around it, but I couldn't ignore it. I couldn't act like it wasn't an issue. I had to recognize that my skin color was going to be a bit of a problem dating. So I was able to overcome it. But I do worry about some of the dark women out there that don't know how. And when
Okay,
they
well
do,
let me how
say,
about this then? How about this then? A darker skinned woman, right?
well, I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
Strategies for darker skinned women. How is that different for strategies for shorter men?
It's pretty much the same. You kind of have to like take what you can get, but I don't.
Well,
But
no,
I think
no. See,
uh,
hold on. See, that's where I differ.
okay.
Everyone has something, and what the problem I have with what is your ultimate point with is color? Your skin color is what's the issue? What's the problem?
Okay, in my particular situation, now I'm from a different part of the country. Well, I'm in Georgia now, but before I came from California. And in California, being dark skinned when I'm older, but trying to date back then, I'm men approaching me was rare. I could count on one hand how many times in
How
a
old are you?
period that I was ever approached.
How old are you?
I'm older. I'm 43. Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm 51. You're not older than me.
Okay.
Then I have to ask because there's
Yes.
no camera here. What part of California,
I was in Southern California.
ma'am?
Yes.
What part?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Eh,
Because
eh, eh,
everyone says Northern or Southern. I grew up in Long Beach and then I moved out to
So,
the Inland Empire.
so you say men didn't approach you?
It was very rare. Like, and I say I'm
Okay,
older because
hold on. What age did you lose your virginity?
I was 19.
Okay, and you lost your virginity. Do you go to college?
Yes, sir.
How tall are you?
I am 5'5".
Dress size?
Um, I should tell you that I am married.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, okay. I'm dress size. I'm size 8.
Okay. Um, no disrespect to your husband,
Yes.
but I have. How do I want to put this?
Mm.
Why do you think so many people should have approached you? Maybe you're just not attractive.
Right, and that is a possibility.
But
You know.
the attractiveness has but do you think but see With colorism, people, you tend to say your lack of attractiveness is based on your skin tone.
Can Okay, can I cam up? No, just for you
Oh, you
though,
don't,
not for the audience?
sure.
I don't know
But but
how
it,
on
but you don't have to. We can have the conversation. See, what I just said is maybe you're not attractive, and you said it's a possibility. But see, the next part is where we get into trouble. I'm not attractive because I'm dark skinned. No, you're just not attractive, and you happen to be dark skinned. Because I lived in the Midwest, close to the South, and some of the most attractive women where I was from were dark, and they never had a problem getting men. She muted herself. You muted yourself.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Um, I guess what I'm saying, the reality for me, being dark skinned, living in California, the lot less because typically black women are on the bottom of the barrel. So we don't have like all the other men after us. We pretty much, most of us want black men. And where I was from anyway, to be a dark skinned black woman, the amount of men were there. Now I'm married, so I was able to marry, but I had to be strategic about it because of my skin color. I guess that's all I'm saying. I don't think it's to be an excuse.
Testing, testing,
I took my dark skin color and I had to say, okay, this is going to be a
testing.
little bit of problem because I'm not going to get as many options. So, but I understood that. And I think some dark women, they don't accept that. I had to say, hey, this is a problem. They're kind of like shut down. Like, no, it's not a problem, but it is something, you
Well,
know.
here's the
I mean,
thing, man. Here's the thing.
can yes,
Here's
sir.
the thing. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Mhm.
All right. What you keep saying is you don't get equality of outcomes. You cannot legislate attractiveness. In the
Absolutely.
'80s, I'm sorry, in the '80s, El DeBarge, Al B. Sure, and light skin was in. Prince was in. And dark skinned men got no real love. Black men, dark skinned men didn't start getting any love till 1989 and Wesley Snipes. They were locked out of an entire decade, but you didn't hear dark skinned men bitching.
I agree with that.
So if you're
And I
not
don't
a,
believe
so if you're a dark skinned woman and you feel as though colorism is a problem, then what do? You adjust and you compensate. But far too often, dark skinned women want equality of outcomes. You want to be approached. Just I want if 10 men are approaching the red bone, I want 10 men to approach the dark skinned woman. It never happens that way.
can I jump in a little bit? I guess what I'm saying is what you're saying right now, but typically this is not what you hear. Typically, it's anytime you bring up colorism, it makes, for instance, the dark men, like you said in the '80s, their strategy was they kind of had to take what they could get because the light skinned men were on top. And so, as dark skinned women, I think that to me, that was my strategy. I understood I was not going to get the mass numbers that light skinned women or biracial women or whatever had. So, the few men that did approach me, I had to really hold on to those. And I think, and so I agree with you. Black women shouldn't, you know,
Well,
want
okay,
lots and lots
okay.
of men. So I think they
So
need to
what's the
tone that
difference,
down.
man?
So
Hold
I
on, hold
agree
on,
with
hold on,
that.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay.
Mhm,
See, here's the problem though. You
mhm.
keep going back to that as a black woman, I'm not gonna get the options that are other women. So okay, then what do you want? I mean, ultimately, what do you want to tell darks? What should be if the world was right? What would happen for dark skinned women? She muted herself. Stop muting yourself.
I'm
Just sit your
sorry.
ass down there and stop muting yourself.
It's an accident. I'm sorry. My hand brushed against the phone. I'm
All
so
right. So if
sorry.
the world was right, what should happen for dark skinned women?
If the world was right, what I'd want to say to them is recognize, yes, colorism is an issue. However, ladies, you may not get, 10 and 20 men, but you just need one. And that's what I'm not hearing being spoken to these dark skinned women that
Well,
legitimize
hold on. But see what the problem is.
just said.
Hold on. No. See, what you want is you want to be special. No, you're not. No, you're
Really?
not. And the problem, no, listen,
I don't think we are though.
no, no, you're not. And see,
I
that's the fucking
know.
problem.
I'm agreeing. I know we're
But
not.
the thing, listen, you're saying that, ladies, you may not get 10 or 20, but all you need is one.
Hmm.
But the problem is, you want the 10 or 20.
Okay, I'm not saying for me personally. I guess I don't think you quite get what I'm saying.
I
I'm
know you're
wanting.
not speaking for you. I know you're speaking for women in general, but what I'm
Yeah.
not fair, it's not fair, and the world is not going to sit around and look here, man.
I'm.
Let me make
I
it
don't
real
know how
clear. Let
else
me
to
make it real
express to you that
clear.
I'm agreeing. This is what
But
I'm
let me
wanting
make it
Black
real.
men
But
to
let me make it.
know.
But the thing is, man,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
colorism is how big is, on the scale of problems, even in the black community. Where does colorism rank?
It depends on how dark you are, but I think it's pretty big, and I think that it's really
Right.
diminished.
And if you honestly think, see, these are first
As
world.
far as
No, no,
options,
no,
as
no,
far as
no, 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 no,
options.
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
These are first world freaking problems. And you know the problem with many women who deal in this argument? You got many women that I've come across in my personal life have latent anger issues that they have yet to address. Issues with rejection, issues with approval or acceptance that stem from childhood. And they have
Absolutely.
yet to address the therapy, the underlying issue. And sorry, human beings have a unique way of taking one thing and extrapolating and making it about it. Everything happens because of my dark skin. But then, if that's the case, that should be the way. That should be the same thing for every dark skinned person. If it's your dark skin, how is it that you get? How is you have dark skinned women who get vastly different outcomes than some women who are on par, the same level of overall attractiveness, who get vastly different outcomes? It's not just the skin; it's multivariate. And as long as we keep telling women, well, your dark skin is going to be a problem, well then, yeah, if you want to believe that, go ahead. No one's no one's going to cry tears and waste time to try to balance out things for what people consider to be, honestly, and I mean no disrespect, but many people look at it to be a trivial matter. It's not. It's a first world problem.
I understand. I wish you could understand that. Like what I'm trying. I don't think you're kind of reading what I'm saying as much, though. But
I understand what you're.
I
I
agree with what
understand
you're
what you're
saying. But
saying. I understand what you're
I don't.
saying.
But I'm not disagreeing at all. I don't think you're quite grasping what I'm saying,
How
though.
how how does
Yeah.
how does how does telling darker skinned women that your skin is a problem help them?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I'm
How
sorry.
does telling darker skinned women, and first off, is it just a dark skinned woman problem or does this also apply to men?
I honestly I don't know because I'm a woman,
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't
But this
know.
is
You know what I
colorism
mean?
though. See, that's the problem. It's colorism. Where's the man's portion in this?
I'm only because I'm the female and dark skin. I can only speak on, you know what I'm saying, my experience. I mean, men may
But what
have
do you think?
they
But
very
what do
well,
you
but I can
think?
only speak on
But
like
what do you
women.
think?
What's that?
What do you think?
Dark skinned men. I'm sure they have their challenges because a lot of times dark skin is attributed to like masculinity and aggression and things like that. So I've heard dark skinned black men say that sometimes people think they're going to rob them or steal something just because they're dark skinned. Mhm. I've heard that. I don't know if that's, the case, but I've heard that.
See, what? And all right. So if dark skin was a problem, if colorism is a problem, like we want to say it is, okay, then dark skinned men should experience negative outcomes and issues as well, too, right? Oh, no.
Not the same as a woman in dating
Yeah.
because a
Well.
lot.
All right. Well.
I would just say this because I don't want it to. I'm challenging, but I'm not. Here's if
Well.
I can just say this and then I'll go. I'm just saying this for a dark skinned woman. Literally, what you're saying is you're saying what I wish more would say.
No.
Like not to make.
I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
saying to dark skinned
Uh,
women, the bigger problem is your mentality.
That's what I'm saying, Kevin. I don't know. I think you're thinking I'm arguing. What I'm saying is that's what I can. I maybe say this. Here's what I did to overcome my dark skin. I had to become ultra sweet, ultra
But
submissive,
why won't you? But hold the
ultra
thing.
feminine.
Hold on. But see,
Yes.
there's a problem I have with what you're saying. Why weren't you that
Mhm.
to begin with?
I've
Why did you
always
have to?
been. What I'm
No,
trying to tell
listen,
you.
listen. Why weren't you
Yeah,
ultra?
and that's how I'm married for 13 years because I became that way. But I had to understand. Like for instance, here's an example.
No,
If
you're missing the math equation, ma'am. You're saying you
if
had to become, which implies you were not to begin with. That's what that implies. I had to
can I
become, which implies you were not that to begin with. Are we clear on
okay.
that part?
No, because so maybe I didn't phrase what I'm saying is let's say you have a biracial woman and she's mad at something and she goes off, or a white woman. I don't do that. Literally, I don't have I can't do it because I'm going to become this angry black woman,
That's
and so I
bull.
understand these
No,
things,
no.
so
Okay.
I
All right.
don't do it.
And here's the thing, ma'am. And here's the thing. And that's what I
Yeah,
mean by your mentality. If that's what you believe, I can't change it for you. That's your starting point, which is why I said at the beginning, colorism people, it's not multivariate. It's univariate. It's always the same thing. You said exactly what I said at the beginning. As a dark skinned woman, I cannot act the same way a biracial or a white woman can because it'll be perceived as something. And you said,
absolutely.
and that's
Mhm.
what I mean. I do not believe, and I'm sorry, that is your mindset, and you can have it, but everything stems from your dark skin, and everything doesn't stem from your dark skin. Maybe it's the way in which, maybe it's the words you chose when you
I
acted
guess
out. Excuse me,
I wish.
excuse
Oh yes,
me,
yes,
excuse
sir.
me.
I'm so sorry.
Maybe it's the word choice. Maybe it's the tone. Maybe it's your hand motions. But you're just saying I can't act this way. No, there's a wide range of choices in everything you said. But you just made the perfect point that it all came back to your dark skin. You just proved my point. There are a lot of choices in acting out, talking out. There's tone, there's body language, there's all kind of stuff. But for women who think like you, well, I have to overcompensate to make myself smaller because my dark skin is a cross. I don't buy that. Nope. But thank you. Colorism exists. Yes. Prejudice exists. Yes. Skin tone prejudice exists in every race. But it is one factor. And my issue with most of you colorism people is it is the only factor. Everything starts from that point, and it's not univariate. It's just one way. And as I said again, these are first world freaking problems. First world freaking problems. Again, her example was, well, as a dark skinned woman, I can't react. Versus if I were biracial or a white woman, I can't get upset and angry because it'll be looked at such and so forth. Am I the only one that saw that? Wait a minute. There are a lot of choices to be made in between how three different women get angry, respond, talk, body language. I'm sorry. Far more of that comes into play than just your skin tone.
Hey guys, welcome back to Spotlight News. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And before I proceed, here in these videos, we talk about love, we talk about feminism, we talk about single divorced mothers, we talk about single fathers, we talk about life, we talk about marriage, we talk about communication skills, and other reliable sources of educative stuff. Before we proceed, you are at Spotlight News, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And let's give respect to the fallen legend, Papa Kevin Samuels, because he is one of the person who had the most educative videos, the most developmental videos, the most videos someone could look at and be like, yeah, and you learn, oh, pick a leaf in them. First of all, in all aspects of life, first of all, one thing you need to know, you need to have that person who can hold on your back even when you're messing up, or even when you're falling apart. First of all, to the parents, what I'm going to see, because I've been trying to look into the single households, like single mothers, single fathers. To the single mothers and the single fathers, please, let's try to give guidance to our kids. But first of all, why is it that the most kids I see who grew up in a single parenting hood, they reach a time and like, we don't want to get married, we don't want this, because they think that is the better way to go on, or the better way to stand in themselves, because they think this is the good thing. While the parents sit their kids and tell them that marriage, however much, be open, and you like, however much minefield, but this is the root cause or the godly way of being with someone. You have to grow, get a partner, get married, most especially to the ladies. And you let us spread the word of marriage, because it's the key. We are not going to pass in the same path, but some parents are like, you know what, when you have money, everything it's okay. You can have whatever you can do, whatever you have to do. You can do whatever you have to do in a way of bringing up yourself in one way or the other. So they end up letting these young kids or young generation get messed up, because they really don't know what to do in that exact place. In a certain place, they are being confused and they are left in the space, which is not good at all. At times, you find it so effective, because if you're to look at this show, most people that call in are ladies and young girls who are confused after messing up in the first way. Let me say, after someone becoming a single mom, because this is a lot in our community we are living today. Single parenting hood, it's a lot, because people lack guidance. Someone gets a kid and she is like, the man was not worthy to live with. That's why I would advise or recommend these Mr. K's videos, because someone can be like, I'm going astray here and there, but then they can help you to shape yourself out and to bring out to what you really want to do, and someone to pick that confidence. Because if you're trying to look at everything, people are trying to run away from the truth or the reality of the world. So that brings us to the end of today's video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You're still on Spotlight News. May God bless you so much. Thank you so much. Love you, girl. You love you guys.